Hello, friends. I hope you're well and that you are looking forward to something in your life. Anything? That feeling of positive anticipation is just one of my favorite feelings. Whenever I've been surprised by something, like a surprise birthday party or something, I felt like I've somehow been robbed, I love that feeling of looking forward to something. Right now, I'm looking forward to the start of my second and final Neuro-Vocal method certification class that begins this week. And I love the first day of class. It's just my favorite. So today we are talking about style. Now, this is a very big subject. And to examine it all is like a weekend seminar. It's more than we can do in our short time together, but it's worth talking about. And today I hope to empower you, maybe shift your perceptions a little bit, give you some fun tools for yourself and your students. So in my experience with voice teachers, I have noticed that we tend to fall into one of two categories. This is generally speaking. So if you are the exception, kudos to you. We are either classically trained and we don't feel super confident about working with the style element of microphone singing genres, or we are microphone singers our own selves, and we haven't really needed to think about style that much. We just do it. So if you are in one of those categories, you might not have a plan for addressing style in your students' singing or for helping them develop their own style. You might be like I was for the first 20 years that I taught voice and just let your students do whatever. And, as long as what they were doing is vocally healthy, fine. Now, to be clear, there is nothing wrong with that. If that's what you're doing, there's nothing wrong with it. Especially if your student is clear, your client, your student, your person is clear about how they want to express themselves as an artist. But if your student is a high school kid who's this is kind of one of these don't get me going subjects, who is saturated in the educational mentality of things being right or wrong, then you, the voice teacher, may be providing the only safe space and guidance for that person to explore their own musical style. Finding or developing your style takes certain skills and attributes. Among those attributes are musical knowledge, the ability to discern what you're hearing, curiosity, a willingness to try uncomfortable things. Of course, that's just art in general, isn't it? And the ability to be vulnerable. Some singers just have all those things naturally. You've had those students. You might be that person, but most people do not have all those things naturally. And those people need your help. I'm Meredith Colby, and I support voice teachers to create confident teaching and singing of popular styles. I'm also the author of Money Notes, How to Sing High, Loud, Healthy, and Forever, which introduces Neuro-Vocal method, a way to use brain science to teach healthy technique for people who sing into microphones. Pursuant to what we are discussing today, my freebie today is a link to my page, which is called Rock Your Pop Singers. I just made it for you guys. So it has stuff. Like sometimes I make these pages where there's more than just a link to a video or whatever. This does have a link to a video and an article. So those are there. You can just click those. But also I have... Oh yeah, and that video and article is called Registration in CCM Pop, and it is very important to what we're talking about today because it just makes a huge difference. I call it one of the magic wands of style. So we have a little information about the Neuro-Vocal method upcoming certification class. If you want to get some information about that, and also a free download of my ebook, Making Them Stick. So if you have not gotten that ebook, you got to get it. Everybody loves it. It's a must-have, and it's free. So if you'd like a link to that page, put style, the big letters style, in the comments, and the Neuro-Vocal bot will send you that link to that page. Also, you have to tell the bot that it's okay to send you a reminder about my podcasts, because it will kick me off. Well, it won't. Facebook will. So, as I mentioned, I'm excited that my class begins this week, and it is the second and the final offering of the certification class for 2021. We're done after this. I'm offering 2 sections, one of which is friendly to teachers in Australia and New Zealand. So if you're considering getting really solid with your teaching of popular styles, I hope you'll take the time to get some information about this class. It is designed for the working voice teacher. The format, the time, the price, the applicable tools, the community. We love the community. And it's all about brain science and popular styles. You can get the information from the information page on my website, where it is listed under the menu for voice teachers, or by putting style in the comments, which will bring you to the page with the link to the page. Again, this is the last class of this year. There are 2 times available, so do get that information. And I hope you'll share your thoughts and comments with me today. If you have thoughts and comments about what I'm talking about, I love that. If something gives you a takeaway, put hashtag that in the comments. Hearts and thumbs are always appreciated as well. It kind of lets me know I'm not alone. I'm not just sitting here talking to the green light on my laptop. Okay, now I want to start this topic today by telling you about a conversation I had with my sister, my beautiful sister Jeanette, who is hi thumbs, hi hearts. I had a conversation with my sister, who is a visual artist. She was questioning me about some comment I had made regarding classical training of singers, wherein I had apparently indicated that there are rather strict expectations for vocal sound and abilities in that genre. So this was kind of foreign to her. Because as an artist and a teacher in the visual arts, her experience is that artists are encouraged to experiment. In the visual arts, there aren't mistakes. There are simply ways to discover what works and what works for you and what does not. Young artists are encouraged to explore many different media as they find their artistic voice, so to speak. I explained to her that the default condition for training in the performing arts is that we learn to be vehicles for the creative work, a work created by a composer, a playwright, or a choreographer. Christine is here. Christine says, hello. FYI, I had trouble getting in. I sent you to last week's video. I'm sorry. Thank you for being persistent. Christine, there's a lot of moving parts in one of these things. And I swear to God, I drop the ball every single week. There's one thing that I screw up. Someday I'm going to do everything right, and who knows? It'll be like, I don't know. I don't know what will happen. There'll be balloons. Anyway, thanks for letting me know. Hopefully people will be smart like you and scroll up the page a little bit. Anyway, okay, back to where I was. So Leanne is here. Leanne says juggling. Thank you, Leanne. Yes, lots of juggling. Anyway, okay, so the default condition in the performing arts. So that's what I was saying, default condition. So this is not universally true, but it is generally true. For education in the performing arts is that we learn to be vehicles for a creative work. right? The work is created by a composer or a playwright or a choreographer. The training and thus the mindset that the performing artist gets is about being a creative vehicle within a certain structure. And I don't know about you, but I absorbed that way of thinking without even being aware of it. Elspeth says, we still love you, Meredith. Thank you, Elspeth. So I think we, as voice teachers and coaches, have to be aware of that, because if we aren't, we might not be using the right tool for the job or the student, as it were. So all that means that as we talk about style today, we're going to step away from the idea that there's a correct and an incorrect way to sing. Some of the techniques we learned as being correct when we were students ourselves were actually aimed at being loud in a vocally healthy way. But nobody told you that. They just said, this is the right way to sing. But microphone styles don't have to be loud. The microphone gives the singer so many choices that they would not otherwise have. Well, they would not have in an acoustic situation. And by the way, this is why you should have a little mic set up in your studio. But we'll talk about that another day. Anyway, if the singer's default sound is healthy, they can do all kinds of things with their singing. And they might be things that you learned were wrong. All kinds of things to affect their style in singing. I mean, last week I've talked about vocal fry. Most of us learned that that's not a good thing. But in microphone singing, it's a thing. Straight tone, glottoplosives, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, they can be breathy. They can use register breaks or growls. They can scoop. They can vocal fry. They can add melodic embellishments. They can change the melody altogether if they want. It's all good. Their voices need to be able to respond to their intentions with an ease that eventually, ultimately, allows them to be inside of the song and the accompaniment. And most of you know what I'm talking about when I say that. So a couple of things about style. Most people, even young and amateur singers, can't really identify style as such, nor do they really try, because it's not really a big part of their musical awareness. They just decide they like a song, they learn the lyrics, they learn the melody, and then they start singing along, right? Anybody? I did. That's how I started singing. At which point, of course, when you're singing along, you stop listening. So generally speaking, they have never listened to the performance of a song with a discerning ear. They think they love the song, and they may, but thank you for the thumbs up on that. They may love the song, but they probably also love the performance of the song, and they don't know it. And that's where you come in. I'd like to encourage you to think about style in a couple of ways. The first way is about acquiring stylistic vocabulary. And the second is the visual arts model, which is playing with different media. I think the easiest way to acquire stylistic vocabulary is to copy artists you like. Elspeth is here. She was in my class, and we talked about this a little bit in the class. Singers do that anyway. We tend to do it naturally. I personally, my own personal thing, I had to stop listening to Billie Holiday for about 10 years because I was such a Billie Holiday fanatic that I was copying her style way too much. And she has a very distinctive style. So a little goes a long way. But it helps to get conscious about that. And, our ability to copy, it helps to get conscious and develop that as a skill. So first, your student needs to learn to listen. And then they have to learn to copy. Two skills, those are both skills that are powerful tools. If your student or you are concerned that copying will cause the singer to lose rather than gain style, I would urge you to put that aside and help your students put it aside. If you have pop students, they think that. They think I should just naturally be able to come up with this original style, and if I'm copying, then, well, copying is, they do it and they think it's bad. It's a strange and interesting thing. If you got my ebook, Making Them Stick, it's in there. It's this weird thing about copying and also not. So we do it anyway. I mean, every famous singer, every microphone singer everywhere has acquired their style by copying singers they love, whether they meant to or not. So please help your student understand that the singers they love are showing them how to use a stylistic vocabulary. See how I came back there? For instance, okay, I wanted to think of an example of this. And now I know if you have young female students, they either are wanting to sing or have been wanting to sing Olivia Rodrigo's song, Driver's License. So they just don't realize how much of what they love about that song is the performance of the song along with the recording itself, both the instrumentation and the production values. So then you get to be Yoda, who makes them aware of these components of a recorded performance. So you get to talk to them about the song itself, about the performance of the song, about the production values of the song, about the arrangement, the instrumentation. And you get to teach them how to listen to a performance and how to copy it. So for instance, in just the first line of that song, her lyrics are, I got my driver's license last week just like we always talked about. So I listened to that phrase a few times, and in that phrase, she uses plosives, scoop, vibrato, low head register, vocal fry, and a short cutoff. In that phrase, that many words. All of these are really common elements for vocal style in microphone singing. And spending time with your student just listening and copying that one line, it probably will drive them crazy. They'll be like, you're picking on me, but do it anyway. Or you can do up to 3 lines if they're really fast or there's not too much going on in a song. But it can just make such a huge difference about how they approach the song in general. And in general, all of their singing for their whole lives. It teaches them to listen a little bit. Learning how to listen to the elements of the performance of a song will change them forever as both singers and music consumers, right? It makes them smarter listeners. Now, I probably don't have to say this, but I can't help myself. I have to say it. If you choose to do this with your students, which I hope that you do, there goes my dog. I hope that you do. If you choose to do this, please be relaxed about it. If they aren't able to replicate certain elements of what they're hearing, or any of the elements they're hearing, or what if they're not even sure what they're hearing, that's okay. Hang in there. Just encourage them. This is new and this is scary. They need to feel safe to get the hang of it. It's going to be weird. So please help them out. Help them to stay out of the paradigm that I mentioned earlier of things being either right or wrong, right? We shoot for something and we walk toward it. That's what we're doing. So just help them not be hard on themselves, which I know you do anyway, but I'm just saying it because. Alexis is here. Hi, Alexis. So another way to look at style is through the lens of different genres. And you'll have to spend some time teaching your student to listen for stylistic elements, such as different kinds of onsets, different levels of diction, right? In some styles, country music, for instance, diction is really important. In other styles, metal, not so much. So that's an important registration. How are people using their registration? Embellishments, what kind, how much, all of that. So you have to do this with them, because if you don't, it won't matter that you're exposing them to another artist or genre. They will just do that thing. They'll just listen for their part and sing the melody and stop listening. But once they know how to listen, you can introduce different artists and genres to them. And they will be exposed to different musical elements and values that they can explore. With different students, you can see what they like and steer them toward maybe something new. So like if you have somebody who loves Billie Eilish, great. Show them Joni Mitchell. Show them Lana Del Rey. Those are different. Those are people who are similar and also different. Do they love Bruno Mars? Fabulous. Have them listen to Prince. Have them listen to Stevie Wonder. Those two people influenced Bruno Mars a lot. If you don't feel competent to do that, like if you don't feel competent to find those kinds of artists, like this person's like that person, go to, oh wait, I made a slide for this. Where is it? Nope, that's the safe thing. They need to feel safe. See, I made that and I left it behind. Where is it? There it is. Okay. There's the website, y'all. This is a great website. You type in the artist and it gives you all this information about them, what they've recorded and when, and some background. But also, if you go to a little tab that says related, there will be a tab under each artist that says related. And then you'll see a list of artists that are similar to that artist. And you will also see artists that influenced that artist that you're looking at. So that is a really handy tool for what we're talking about today. So another thing that's really fun to do along these same lines is to have this is like a studio thing, right? For your whole studio, have a genre-specific session, semester, however you break up your learning modules, have one that's genre-specific that leads up to a recital. Alexa says that is a handy tool. It is a handy tool. So you can have a recital that's about a particular genre. So everybody in your studio is going to do a Motown. And if you have a student who is maybe like, I don't want to try Motown. I love music theater and that's all I love. You can go, okay, well, as it happens, there was a show on Broadway that had Motown songs in it. So there you go. Or like everybody does something by a singer-songwriter, or everybody does a contemporary country tune. I know teenagers love to say, I hate country. And then they hear a song that they like and they're like, I love that song. And I go, oh, well, that's country. Anyway, Nashville music, great lyrics. So those categories, I've just pulled out those 3 categories, but that gives you your studio a goal. It gives you things to communicate with them via social media and then your regular email communiques. You can talk about, let's say you did country, you can talk about history, you can pull out stories about artists or about songs. You can talk about what are the values in this kind of music. What we focus on when we're learning this genre. There's just all kinds of great opportunities to connect with your students about these different kinds of music and help expand their view. And as they learn to listen and they're exposed to differences in performances, in songs, in arrangements, and production values, their musical world will expand. They will stop just listening for the words so that they can sing along. You will be helping them create a richer musical experience. That's what I think anyway. So I have to wrap it up, but I will be creating a blog post that has some step-by-step approaches to the ideas I shared today, and that will come right to your inbox if you're on my mailing list. So if you're not on my mailing list, you can go to meredithcolby.com and sign up, or you can put, where's my trigger? You can put, no, that's my sister. Or you can put style in the comments, and that will get it to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this, and you can go to my website for more information about my book and the upcoming Neuro-Vocal Method certification class and getting on my mailing list. So have a great week, you guys. Thank you for being here with me today. I appreciate your time and your attention. Be well. Bye-bye.